Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to provide an update on the wildfire situation in Fort McMurray and the supports we are providing to evacuees. Last week, we requested federal assistance in the form of support from the Canadian Armed Forces. That support was readily provided. Armed Forces personnel helped in the evacuation of threatened communities. They provided supplies to isolated First Nations communities, and they assisted in the transportation of essential firefighting equipment and personnel. But now that we are moving out of the emergency phase and into the recovery phase, our Provincial Operations Centre, in collaboration with the Regional Emergency Operations Centre, has determined that Armed Forces assistance is not required at this time. I would like to personally thank all the Armed Forces members who have supported Alberta during this very difficult time. They were here when we needed them most, and we all say thank you. Mr. Speaker, our government's focus continues to be on meeting the needs of evacuees. Yesterday, we began the distribution of debit cards for those evacuees. As of noon today, we have provided more than $12 million in assistance to approximately 11,000 people. As expected, there were significant lineups at the 4 distribution centres, and today we have added a second location at NAIT for evacuees to pick up their debit cards. Now, I wish to address a question that I know is on top of many people's minds, and that is, when can people go home? I know how stressful it is to leave everything behind and to be away from your home for a prolonged period of time. It was 5 years ago this Sunday that I was forced to flee my home in Slave Lake, and I know how stressful that time is and how hard it is to be away. But, Mr. Speaker, safety is our first priority, and right now, Fort McMurray is not yet safe, and until it is, people cannot go home. There are a number of things we are working diligently on to make happen to make the community safe. We are working for the complete restoration of essential services like natural gas, water, and sewer, and ensuring that there is a clean, working hospital with functioning equipment and staff. I know this is not the news that Fort McMurray and area residents would like to hear today, but this is what we need to do to ensure their safety. The good news is that there are a lot of people already working in the community to make it safe. Power and data service have been restored to the downtown area, and we have damage assessment teams on site. They inspected 520 structures yesterday from the outside, not entering residences, so we are beginning to develop a clearer picture of exactly what we're dealing with in terms of damage. Insurance assessors are going in today, and they too will be assessing from the outside without entering people's homes. In closing, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the firefighters and other emergency personnel who continue to battle the wildfires. I thank those who have gone into the community of Fort McMurray to begin the hard work of making the community safe for re-entry. And I want to thank the residents of Fort McMurray, Anzac, Gregoire Lake Estates, and the Fort McMurray First Nation for their patience. I know it's been a difficult time and it's hard to wait, but they have been patient, and we need to ask them to be patient a little while longer while we make things safe for them to return home. It is a big job, but there are a lot of people working hard, and we will get the job done as quickly as possible. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.